my name is Michelle Moniz. I have decided to make my mini lecture on the discussion of the persuasion principles. Persuasion is basically the factors that influence us to say yes to the request of someone else. And everybody's lives are very, very busy, so we as people have created shortcuts to make these decisions. And we have come up with 6 shortcuts. The first shortcut is reciprocity. The second shortcut is scarcity. The third shortcut is authority. The fourth shortcut is consistency. The fifth shortcut is liking. And the sixth shortcut is conscientious. So going back to the first shortcut of reciprocity, it's basically feeling obligated to give when you have received. So if somebody has given you something, you feel obligated when they ask for something to give it to them because they have already given something to you. I'm going to be using retail for my examples today. Retail is a very big part of persuasion. Retail uses persuasion very commonly. And so my example for reciprocity is a lot of retail will give you a free trial of something, and then at the end of it you feel obligated to continue with it because you have already been given that free trial. For example, Costco and Hulu and Netflix and Amazon Prime, they give you like a 7-day or 30-day free trial of their program, and then after that free trial has ended, they offer you to continue with that program, and you feel obligated to continue with it because they have already given you that free trial. All of these companies have obviously found this tactic very useful because they continue with it. And the second shortcut is scarcity. So scarcity is basically believing or putting it out there that something is no longer going to be available or that resource is going to be scarce. And we as people always want more of what there is less of. So if we believe that something is going away or is no longer going to be available to us, we want it more. So, for example, in retail, if a retail company says it's seasonal, people believe it's no longer going to be available or it won't be available at a certain time anymore, so they want to buy as much as they can, or they want to buy it so they can have it before it's gone. And they don't want to lose out on something, so an opportunity. So if something's not going to be there anymore, they won't have an opportunity to have it. So they may lose out on it if they don't get it. So they believe they should get it. The third shortcut is authority. People are more likely to follow the lead of credible and knowledgeable experts. So a lot of retail companies post their awards around, or it's very advertised how successful they are, and the more successful and the more awards they are given, the more likely we are to want to work with that company because they are credible. Also, one of the big things that Costco does is Costco pays their employees well, they treat their employees well, so those employees speak well of the company. So that is a very costless, in a way, tactic that's still ethical. So those employees spread the word of how great that company is, and the people believe that company is great. So they have a higher, percentage of sales and stuff like that because people believe that they are a ethical and knowledgeable company. The fourth shortcut is consistency. So, like being consistent with things and they have previously said or done, people like to feel comfortable with what they're doing. So it's something that they have done before, they'll do it again. So if you start out with a small thing, asking to do a small thing, and then work your way up to something bigger, they're more likely to do that bigger thing because they've already done that small thing. For example, like retail will offer small samples of that product. So once you try that small sample, you're more likely to do the bigger one because you're comfortable with the smaller one. Costco gives out samples every day of almost all of their products at some point or time. So you are more likely to buy that product because you're familiar with it from that first sample. The fifth one is liking. So you say yes to people you like, people you feel comfortable with, you're similar with, people who compliment you, people you can compare to, and people who cooperate with you. So a lot of the times, retail will post ads you can relate with that are very comparable to people in that area, the demographics. A lot of retail study that. The sixth is conscientious, so we look towards other people's actions for our own. So if at a retail store someone is surrounding, or a lot of people are surrounding the single product, you're more likely to go look at that product because a lot of other people are there. You're going to want to see why they're there. And retail will use that to their advantage. They'll make something a big focal point. They'll point something out very drastically or dramatically. So you'll want to know what it is. And if other people want to know what it is, you're going to want to know what it is. And it's just going to draw more and more attention. And all of these shortcuts are very costless persuasions. They're, still ethical tactics, and they still get across that persuasion, and it helps you make that decision of to do what is requested. So that is my discussion, my mini lecture on the principles of persuasion and my connection to retail.